All right, so today we are going to be talking about Egyptian death masks. Okay, so Egyptian death masks, they are interesting, and usually you could see as a major part of the mummification process, you would have to have a new face to go into the afterlife with, because after the Nathan had been applied to you, you would be all shriveled up and kind of ugly looking. So to make sure people could recognize you in the afterlife, you would need a death mask. The main metal people would use was gold, okay, because it was easy to work with. It did not tarnish. It was believed to be eternal because it did not tarnish or rust like other metals. So gold's definitely the metal of choice. Then they would have different kinds of stones, precious stones. The Egyptians were really good at trading with a lot of people in the Mediterranean and Middle East. So I need blue, turquoise, orange, red, purple, and green. So each of these represents a different semi-precious stone that would usually be embedded into the death mask to decorate it. As you saw with King Tut's death mask, gold with lapis lazuli stripes. Turquoise was well sought after as well. Carnelian was believed to be the frozen blood of the gods. Jasper was not as hard to find as, let's say, rubies, so it was easier to use. Amethyst and malachite. Malachite for good health. Usually it was powdered to make eyeshadow to keep the eyes healthy instead. But sometimes it was also embedded into death masks. All right, so talking about these death masks, okay, we need to understand some of the Egyptian gods that they would have symbols of. So if you look at King Tut's, you will see that there is a cobra and a vulture's head on the very front of the crown. That's because cobras were considered the protectors of the king. So please go ahead and draw this so you have some knowledge of how to draw it. Going to come around town a little bit with that. And have a tail on the other side. Cobra is able to spit venom, have hoods like priests. Were common in Egypt. You gave them their space, you respected them. And they were the symbol of the Egyptian god Uraeus. So that's one of the reasons why King Tut would have one on his crown. Now, not quite a vulture, but the next Egyptian god that we're looking at did have the head of a falcon. If I'm ever going too fast, you can always pause me. All right, so having a hood very much like a peregrine falcon, always depicted as dark blue or black. Horus had the head of a falcon. So Horus is the big head honcho of the Greek gods. You might have always seen the eye of Horus as well. Beautiful. All right, so Horus and the eye of Horus. If you really wanted to appease the gods, okay, and you are going to go ahead and meet the god of death, Anubis would be your next one. Anubis had the head of a jackal. And you saw that the priest wore a Anubis mask while performing the mummification ceremony. Priests were expected to pretend to be the god as they performed the ceremony. And of course, Anubis's head is very much black, but I'm not going to color that now because I don't got time. Y'all don't want to sit and watch me color. So Anubis. We saw that the doctor, okay, in that day of an Egyptian doctor, had a different goddess that she wanted protection with, and that was Serket. Serket, and that weird thing that was on top of her head, is actually a scorpion. It would make sense that a stinging animal that was able to inject. No. Sorry, I'm getting emails. Would be used to represent doctors who would also give injections. And the venom could be used for medicinal purposes. So we need 2 claws at the front, 8 legs behind. We'll just do simple ones on the other side. A stinging teardrop for the tail. Then bring it down, segment it, and 2 simple eyes. So scorpions, again, are the symbol of Serket. Now that's all fine and good for, you know, people who like weird pets like scorpions, and we got a snake, and we got a falcon, and oh, the dog people, of course, got that. What if you're a woman? What if you're someone of royalty and you are a woman? Who would you turn to? Okay? And the one that a lot of them did turn to was Bastet. And Bastet had the head of a cat. All right, going to put a collar on her or necklace. I know the eyes are crooked. I'm not going to say anything. Alright, so for the cat people, y'all have Basset. Alright, so those are the Egyptian gods that might have had symbols on the death mask of different types of royalty, and those are some of your options to use. Alright, so join me in the next video on how to draw, let's say, a death mask template to use.